Hello everyone! It's finally time, the moment you've been waiting for. The best Metroidvania games of all time 2026 edition. Yep, I do this every year. This time, I've updated the list with some fresh new games, and yeah, some of the usual games are still here too. You know, the ones that keep showing up in my list. At this point, you're probably like, bro, we get it, that game is good, but hey, if it's still good, it stays in my video like hell yeah it is. Well, let's get into the list. Mio Memories in Orbit is the new kid on the block, but honestly, it already feels really good. The game looks really clean. It's got this smooth, hand-drawn style mixed with futuristic designs. Everything feels fluid. Animations, movement, effects. It all blends together really nicely. It's not overly flashy, but it's stylish in a very chill, sci-fi way. Gameplay-wise, it leans heavily into exploration and movement. It's one of those games where traversal itself becomes fun, thanks to the chill atmosphere and beautiful visuals. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom just screams nostalgia. Like, this game doesn't just remind you of childhood, it straight up drags you back there. The art, the music, everything hits that Saturday morning cartoon plus old school game vibe. The game stands out in its transformation system. You don't just play as one character, you switch between different animal forms and each one completely changes how you play. And the best part? You'll constantly be switching between them to solve puzzles and explore. It's not just a gimmick, it's the core of the game. Many people might not agree with me on this, but Pseudoregalia is definitely deserve a highlight. This is a 3D Metroidvania. Yeah, not something you see every day. Instead of the usual 2D side-scrolling, you're exploring this big interconnected 3D world. And surprisingly, it works really well. The level design is full of verticality, hidden paths, and shortcuts. Honestly though, this game is really fun. And a huge part of that comes down to one thing, the movement. If your character feels good to control, you're already winning. And this game nails that like most of the way. Shantae series have been around for a while, but they still feel super fresh and fun even today. This series has a ton of personality. Bright colors, expressive characters, fun animations, everything feels super lively. Shantae herself is a total icon, and let's just say she has a very dedicated fan base for various reasons. Now let's be real, Shantae games aren't very hard. If you're looking for something like Hollow Knight or Hardcore Challenge, this isn't it. Also, some entries like Half Genie Hero feel less like a true Metroidvania and more like stage-based platformers. Guacamelee games are straight up some of the most fun Metroidvanias you can play. The game's vibe is completely different from most Metroidvanias. While a lot of games in the genre go dark, sad, and mysterious, Guacamelee goes full colorful chaos. It's inspired by Mexican culture, so everything is bright, energetic, and full of personality, and yeah, the humor, it's everywhere. The game constantly breaks the fourth wall, throws in memes, and makes fun of itself. It doesn't take anything seriously, and that's exactly why it works. Even though there are 5 games in the Momodora series, we're mainly talking about Reverie Under the Moonlight and Moonlit Farewell, because that's where the series really shines. The pixel art is beautiful, clean animations, expressive characters, and environments that feel alive even without a lot of dialogue. It's simple, but it just works. Furthermore, the exploration is more on the compact side. Don't expect a massive map like Hollow Knight. Momodora keeps things tighter and more focused, and honestly, that's part of the appeal. It respects your time. Let me tell you first, Aeterna Noctis is brutally hard. And I don't mean combat, I mean platforming. From early on, you'll be doing tight jumps, dodging spikes, timing dashes perfectly, and later, it gets insane. We're talking near Celeste levels of precision, maybe even harder in some sections. You will die a lot. No, seriously, a lot. Like, I've seen this death animation more than my own desktop wallpaper kind of a lot. So if you're a masochist, and let's be honest, some Metroidvania fans definitely are, this game is basically your dream vacation. Even if there are some newer games from Team Ladybug, I still think Touhou Luna Nights is their best game. The time stop mechanic isn't just cool, it defines the whole game. Combat, platforming, even puzzles all revolve around it, and it feels super unique. And the boss fights are some of the best parts of the game. They're basically bullet hell fights inside a Metroidvania. The screen fills with patterns, projectiles everywhere, and you have to use your time power smartly to survive. It's chaotic, but also super controlled once you learn it. The game is a bit short and slightly linear, but everything is so tight and polished that it doesn't really matter. Axiom Verge is very inspired by Metroid, like heavily inspired. You've got the same lonely sci-fi setting, the same exploration style, and that classic you're completely lost but somehow progressing feeling. But Axiom Verge isn't just copying, it adds its own weird twist. The world is full of glitches. And I don't mean bugs, I mean actual gameplay mechanics. You get tools that let you break enemies, corrupt the environment, and mess with the game itself. It's like you're hacking the world while playing it, and that's where the game really stands out. Afterimage is a game that looks absolutely beautiful and somehow feels even bigger than it looks. Like, seriously, this might be one of the biggest Metroidvania maps you'll ever play. The world of Engarden is massive, interconnected, and packed with different areas, secrets, and things to discover. At times, it almost feels like it just keeps going forever. And then, the visuals. This game is gorgeous. Everything is hand-drawn, super colorful, and full of detail. Every area feels like a painting, with layered backgrounds and smooth animations that make the world feel alive. Honestly, it's easily one of the best-looking Metroidvanias out there. SteamWorld Dig 1 and 2 are two games that look simple at first, but are way more addictive than you'd expect. So the idea of both games is super straightforward. You're basically digging. That's it. You go underground, break blocks, collect resources, come back up, sell your loot, upgrade your gear, and then go right back down again. It sounds basic, but trust me, it's one of those just one more run kind of games. And honestly, the progression system is what makes both games so good. You start off weak, like really weak, but slowly, upgrade by upgrade, you become this unstoppable digging machine. Grime games are straight up some of the weirdest Souls-like Metroidvanias out there, and that's exactly why they're so good. First off, the vibe. Grime doesn't just feel dark, it feels uncomfortable. Everything looks like living stone, flesh, and abstract shapes mashed together. It's ugly, creepy, and kind of fascinating at the same time. Then Grime 2 comes in and flips things a bit. It's still weird, still unsettling, but now it's more colorful, more artistic, almost like a twisted painting coming to life. Some people might miss the pure dread of the first game, but the sequel definitely feels more alive and expressive. At first glance, Animal Well looks simple. Pixel art, quiet atmosphere, no combat, and no crazy explosions. But the more you play, the more you realize this game is insanely deep. This is a pure exploration game. You're not here to fight enemies, you're here to outsmart the world. Every creature, every room, every weird little detail feels like a puzzle. And the items? That's where things get really interesting. You will get tools that feel random at first, but then you start experimenting, and suddenly you realize these items can be used in so many different ways. That freedom is what makes Animal Well special. As you probably already know, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is straight up one of the best modern takes on classic Castlevania-style Metroidvania. If you've played Symphony of the Night, you'll instantly feel at home here. Honestly, Bloodstained feels like a best-of collection from those games, just modernized. On top of that, the game has a lot of content. It kept getting free updates, new characters, extra modes, and even crossover stuff with games like Child of Light. So yeah, there's always something to do and plenty of reasons to jump back in.
Stand down!
If you ever wondered what would happen if Dark Souls got turned into a 2D game, that's basically Salt and Sanctuary. Right from the start, the game throws you into this dark, creepy island with almost no explanation. And that's part of the charm. And just like Dark Souls, the combat feels heavy and deliberate. Every swing matters. Every mistake hurts. You can't just mash buttons and win. You actually have to learn enemy patterns, manage stamina, and time your attacks properly. And the build variety, it's kinda insane. You've got a massive skill tree that lets you go full strength warrior, fast dex build, magic caster, or even some weird hybrid stuff. Blasphemous 1 and 2 are two games that take the Metroidvania formula and wrap it in one of the darkest, most brutal atmospheres out there. These games are heavy. The world is inspired by dark religious themes, and everything, from the enemies to the environments, looks disturbing in a really unique way. It's beautiful, but also kinda uncomfortable, like you're not supposed to be there. And the pixel art, absolutely insane. Every animation is detailed, brutal, and sometimes straight up hard to watch. The boss designs especially go crazy. They're creepy, weird, and super memorable. Metroid Dread is easily one of the best modern Metroid games out there. This feels like a true continuation of the series. From the moment you start, it just feels right. Smooth movement, super tight controls, and everything responds exactly how you expect. It's modern, but still keeps that classic Metroid DNA. The combat is also a big step up. You've got melee counters, fast shooting, and abilities that make fights feel more dynamic. It's not just stand and shoot anymore. You're constantly moving, reacting, and staying aggressive. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is easily one of the best modern Metroidvania games you can play right now. Usually this genre is dominated by indie titles, but this time Ubisoft stepped in like, alright, let us cook for a second. And yeah, they actually delivered. The gameplay is where it really shines. It's smooth, responsive, and incredibly satisfying. Easily one of the best Metroidvanias out there. As you progress, you unlock abilities like air dashes and time rewind. Some help in combat, others open up puzzles and exploration. And when it all comes together, it gets really exciting. Jumping, dashing, rewinding time, all in one flow. Ender, Lilies, and Magnolia is a Metroidvania series that just looks and feels beautiful. No other way to describe it. These games nail the atmosphere. Everything feels quiet, sad, and kinda lonely. The world is beautiful, but also completely messed up. It's one of those games where you're like, wow, this looks amazing, and then realize everything is suffering. In Ender games, you don't actually fight directly, you summon spirits to attack for you. If you know JoJo, it basically feels like that, like you're fighting with a stand. All in all, these games combine beautiful visuals, emotional storytelling, and challenging gameplay into one complete experience. Nine Sols is a game that mixes Metroidvania exploration with Sekiro-style combat. And yeah, it's as tough as it sounds, like, why did I do this to myself kind of tough. The game is all about parrying. You can't just spam attacks. You have to time your deflects perfectly. At first it feels brutal, and like the game is just bullying you, but once it clicks, it feels insanely satisfying. Every fight turns into this fast, precise duel. You're reading enemy moves, deflecting attacks, and striking back at the perfect moment. It's intense, in a good way most of the time. The other half, you're just panicking and hoping muscle memory saves you. Hollow Knight is a game that didn't just follow the Metroidvania formula, it perfected it. First off, the world. Hallownest is huge, mysterious, and honestly kinda haunting. You're constantly exploring, finding new areas, hidden paths, and secrets everywhere. Now let's talk combat. It's simple at first, but it gets deep really fast. Timing, positioning, learning enemy patterns, it all matters. The boss fights especially are intense and super rewarding once you finally beat them. It's one of those games where you just have to get gooed. Even after all these years, Castlevania Symphony of the Night is still one of the best Metroidvanias ever. The pixel art still looks amazing, and the castle itself is incredible. Every area feels unique, from dark, gothic halls to weird, almost surreal locations. And the best part is how everything connects. You'll constantly find places you can't reach yet, and later on, when you unlock new abilities, it all clicks together. But what really makes this game stand out is the vibe. The music is amazing, like seriously iconic. And then there's that twist. If you know, you know. It basically doubles the game in a way that blew people's minds back then. Super Metroid is a game that basically defined what a Metroidvania is today. First off, what makes this game so great? It's all about exploration. The moment you land on planet Zebes, the game just lets you go. No hand-holding, no long tutorials, just you, a mysterious world, and the freedom to figure things out on your own. And somehow it always subtly guides you without you even realizing it. And speaking of abilities, getting new upgrades like the Morph Ball or new beams doesn't just make you stronger, it completely changes how you explore. The more you unlock, the more the world opens up, and it feels amazing every single time. Ori Games is something truly special. The story itself is simple, but it hits hard. As you keep playing, you slowly grow attached to Ori. It's one of those experiences that pulls you in emotionally without needing a lot of dialogue. It just works. Now, let's talk about the visuals. This game is absolutely stunning. Every scene feels like a living painting. The environments are packed with detail. Glowing lights, soft fog, flowing water, and the animations are incredibly smooth, making the entire world feel alive. As for the gameplay itself, it's also really good, so yeah, this game is an absolute package. Silksong brings back that Hollow Knight experience, but now you play as Hornet. If you've played the first game, it'll feel familiar, but better. Hornet is faster, more agile, and way more fluid. The combat is quicker and more intense as well. Hornet feels like a true hunter, and with more tools at your disposal, fights turn into fast, stylish dances, especially during boss battles where everything flows perfectly with the music. Honestly, this game really delivers on the hype after that painfully long wait. Like, seriously, we waited so long some people probably forgot this game even existed, but hey, at least it wasn't just a myth after all. That's all for today's list. Subscribe and like for more new exciting Metroidvania games. That's it, and see you next time.